Hello guys, I'm Odell and today I'm going to share with you from my experience working for a developer here in Dubai. Okay, so I will speak very casually, okay? But the best take you're going to take from my video is how to apply for a job for developers and how to do your job well and how to continue your career successfully in developer, okay? So this would be the good take for you. So first time when I come to Dubai, actually I didn't know where to start working my career. So at that time, one thing caught my attention was the real estate. Because Dubai is a land of real estate. So even though I had like a zero experience in real estate back in my country, I decided to give it a try. So I had like two options. Working as a real estate agent or working as a salesperson and a developer. And I had to choose the second option because as a woman, I needed financial stability. And developers, they were giving salary plus commission. That's why I chose developer. And before developer, I was giving interview to real estate brokerage companies, small, average, and small, medium, and big size companies. And every time when I was giving an interview, the amazing thing is I was getting a job offers immediately for real estate brokerage companies. But the downside was like there was no salary. So back in time, I actually needed salary, so I really couldn't accept the job offers. So one day I received this offer from this Indian lady. She offered me a job with 12,000 dirham salary, which was for Shoba. And Shoba is one of the biggest developer here in Dubai. And I decided to give it a try. So the next day, I went for an interview, and while I was waiting for my interview for many hours, I was speaking with the security, I was speaking with the reception, I was speaking with everyone that I get in touch with in the company, and I studied how things work inside the company, and I was confident that I will get the job, And then I went inside to the interview room, and then director was asking me like several questions, and I answered it. And then he asked me like, okay, do you have anything that you want to know? You know what I told him? I said no, because I was thinking like I just learned about everything while I was waiting to give an interview. And that's how I got rejected. So guys, don't be too, oh, I don't know how to say, too confident. You can be confident, but if somebody asks you that if you have questions, you ask them some questions back, So then I got rejected. But do you think that I gave up? No, I didn't give up. So I went back home and I told my ex-boyfriend, who was telling me, like, baby, it's not a good idea because they already rejected you. So I don't think it's a good idea that you apply again. I said, no, I will apply again because I know I didn't do a good job. So I sit behind my laptop and I applied again. And exactly after 5 minutes, I received a call from my HR inviting me for an interview. Oh, and I was excited, okay. And the next day, I went there again and I have given an interview again to the HR and the director and the VP. And then VP asked me, so where are your country people? So I answered him, my country people are everywhere. The reason he's asking that was because I am from Mongolia, and I don't think they were taking a lot of interviews from Mongolian person for a sales job. So I told him, my country people are everywhere. They are in USA, Korea, Russia, Japan, like literally everywhere, So before you go into the interview, you have to at least talk with one of the employees who is working in this position that you are applying for. So before I go into the interview, I spoke with one of the salesperson and like what to say and not to say on my interview. So actually he was kind of helpful and told me like what I have to say. Like I have a good network of brokers in UAE, and I have a lot of international clients, and etc., etc. Even you don't have it, you just have to speak like confident, like you have it. because I didn't have it. I had like zero connections because I was pretty new to Dubai. So I had zero experience in real estate back in my country. So I told the VP, oh, I have a lot of contacts and a lot of international clients. And I have been in the sales industry for some time. But you have to be confident. And I also had no idea like how I was going to make a sale either, but you just have to believe in yourself, and that was it. So I just blindly believe in myself, and I gave my interview very confidently. And the second time I gave interview, I was selected. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, but being selected is one good thing, and the next thing was, guys, doing the real job. So working as a sales manager for a developer actually requires you to contact with like dozens of people, so, and my daily job was like, contacting a lot of strangers, contacting many brokers. Luckily, there are too many real estate agents here in Dubai. Whether you know them or you don't know them, you will contact them through Instagram, through LinkedIn, through TikTok, whatever platform or you can find, and you should introduce yourself and you can offer your project. And luckily, Shaba was one of the well-known developer here in UAE, so it had a good reputation in the market. And also, I like to sell a product that I like it myself, and the company had a project. Projects were having a really good quality, so I actually was happy about selling those projects. And of course, your developer's reputation makes difference in the market. If it's a big developer, it will be a little bit easier for you to make a sale if you are a hardworking person. It's not going to make a difference if you are just expecting and the product to sell itself, but it's really a job that you really have to put some work in it. And on top of that, introducing messages, introducing yourself to the brokers, it's not the only thing, and you have to train your new brokers and you have to register them under your name. So actually, as a Shaba, as a big developer, they had many projects. So this was my first experience. So guys, you need to learn to the sizes of the apartments and minimum and maximum starting prices of the projects and the location of the projects, and you have to learn the areas of the Dubai very well and which location of the Dubai the Shaba project is being built, and what is the advantage of that location compared to other developers projects, and what are the payment plans, and all these things that you have to just learn it in like first 2 weeks. Okay, so as a salesperson, you have a target and you do not have all the time in the world to study all those things every day. Of course, the company is going to give you like 2 days of training, but at the end of the day, it's going to depend on you how fast you're going to learn everything. So you have to be a little bit agile on that sense. And when it comes to making connections with the brokers, you have to choose the brokers who are actually working in a market for several years, because they have experience and they have a pipeline of clients, because those brokers will bring you clients, and then you will explain your project and close the deals. All right, so when the brokers, they are trusting you and bringing their clients to you, you have to know your projects in and out without the help of the brokers, and then close the deal for them. Because at the end of the day, brokers love sales managers who makes their life easier. You have to prepare your project information so clean and neatly. If they want one specific project, you have to make a very clean PDF about that project, and the quotation and payment plan and everything in one file, and send it to the broker. So broker does not have to do a lot of search. And some of the experienced brokers actually make your life easier, that they don't even need you to do any closure, they will do it. But even though, you have to provide them your project informations every time in a timely manner. you know. At the end of the day, working as a sales manager is a teamwork with your broker and with your internal company. It's a teamwork, so you have to become good at doing a teamwork, because I was not good at doing teamwork, but then over time you learn it. So don't be afraid. If you think like you are somebody who only good at working alone, I also was someone who was just good at working alone, but then you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone and start working with other people. Okay. So there can be cases like you can work with like fresh brokers, but that doesn't mean all the beginners are bad to work with. But it just takes time until they learn the market, and until they have the client pipeline. It requires like 6 months at least. So during that 6 months, you just have to have like a good experienced brokers who is bringing your client every single month. Okay. And also, working for a developer, one of the thing you have to remember is like having a good line manager, having a good director, because what team you join your success depends on whose team you join. If your director is a good man who will support you, who will guide you, the chances of you being successful in working in a developer is going to be high. So at the beginning, I would recommend you guys like just make tons of connections with a lot of broker companies and a lot of individual real estate agents. And that's really important. And the company is going to give a lot of pressure, because you are a salesperson and your job is to sell. So if your performance is not well, the companies, they're going to hire you in 2 or 3 months. So don't let your mind go crazy about that, because if you are like stressed about not making sales, and it's just not going to affect your mental health very well, because it was really affecting me. So just forget about that part and just focus on your work. So what I noticed is like when you forget about that job or that target and everything, and actually the sale happens much faster. And and the other thing is like when you are working in a developer as a salesperson, I don't think it's a good idea to be in a relationship, because it is a very busy job, and you will not have time to give for your partner much. Because this happened to me when I started working for a developer. I actually ended my relationship because I was too busy. I had to be in my office wherever, if there is a broker or a client, I have to be there. So that is the one specific requirement of the job. And Shaba is known as a company which has a lot of pressure, but it was not a bad thing, because it actually teach you how to work under pressure. Before Shaba, I have never worked under that much pressure, so I actually realized I didn't know what is real work pressure. And also I discovered that I like sales job. Before joining Shaba, I didn't know that I liked selling, because I never sold anything. And I actually had quite a sales personality. I discovered that working for that company. So I'm very grateful for my experience from the company. So, okay. So guys, like this, in Dubai, there are like so many developers that you can apply for a job, and you can apply it easily through like LinkedIn or through your connections that who are working in Dubai for a developer. So they usually have the HR contacts, so they can share it with you guys. So then you can start your career in a developer, because it's quite stable. Because in Dubai you need financial stability, so I think developer would be the best choice, you know. And what else I can talk about it? Oh yeah, and then there will be the cases like when you close a deal and then your deal can be cancelled. So for that case, you should be just mentally idle. there's nothing to be upset about, and there's nothing to be excited about also when you make sale, because the sales job is really a roller coaster. It will really test your mental health. It will put you really up and down, even when you are working in a developer, same like agent. And over time, when you are working for a developer, you are going to create a good pipeline of brokers. You're making connections, and it's always better to meet your brokers in person, because then you can create a real connection. So it's the same in every sales job. Whoever will work with you, when they like you, so you should be just authentic, just be yourself, okay? And then also have a good product knowledge of the projects that you are selling, and you have to be also very passionate about what you are selling, and you have to believe in the product what you are selling, you know. Because personally, I love the Shaba as a company, and I love their project. I love the way I was explaining it, because I was vibrating an energy that I am proud of what I'm selling. And so that is the vibe that you're going to have, and it's going to help your sales. And also, you're gonna meet like a lot of shitty brokers, especially if you're a girl, but then you're completely ignore those parts, completely ignore, because at the end of the day, you will attract your good brokers also. So there's going to be good days and bad days. At the end of the day, sales job is like that. So if you're ready for a sales job and the pressure, yeah, come to Dubai and try. Okay, and I'm finishing my video here, and if you guys have a questions, then comment me your questions and I will answer your questions. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and then I will keep giving valuable contents. Okay, see you soon.